Barbara Kruger is an American conceptual artist, best known for her powerful, text-based artwork. She was born in Newark, New Jersey in 1945 and grew up during a time of massive cultural and political change. With no prior experience, she got a job in graphic design and magazine layout as an art director at Mademoiselle magazine. At the time, everything was cut and pasted by hand, which later heavily influenced her artistic style. Kruger has said that her work in magazine layout inspired her work as an artist, with only the level of meaning changing. This can be seen in her personal work in the way that she combines images and text together to create a clean layout and contrast. Key elements of her work include bold black and white photography with intense red and white text. She often uses strong, direct phrases that address certain social and political issues. The art is meant to challenge the viewer and provoke thought. Barbara Kruger's art style is immediately recognizable. She often uses black and white photo collages as the base of her work, layering them with bold red and white text. The photos she uses are often from previous photos that are taken from mass media and given a new meaning. Repurposing the art creates interest to the viewer and sparks debate. The text laid on top is usually in bold, strong typefaces like Futura Bold Oblique or Helvetica, giving her pieces a graphic, urgent feel. The phrases used are short, typically containing elements of humor or irony, but there's always a powerful element to them. Kruger prefers to confront the audience instead of making them feel like a passive observer. This is usually done by using pronouns like you, your, and we to directly call out to the viewer. Doing this actively brings the viewer into the piece and forces them into the issues she's discussing. A majority of her work discusses issues of consumerism, capitalism, feminism, gender identity, power, and the media. In interviews, she says while she considers herself a feminist, with the work containing elements of this, she discusses that there's also an interconnectedness of race, gender, and class. Knowing these elements are heavily a part of her work makes you really stop, think, and question each piece of hers you see. One of the biggest controversies involving Barbara Kruger is her and the streetwear brand Supreme. Though it wasn't at all a connection she chose, during the creation of the brand in 1994, a book on Kruger's artwork was introduced, which influenced the design of Supreme's red box logo, with white, a Futura heavy oblique font. Just looking at a side-by-side of Kruger's work, and the logo shows the clear connection. Kruger had never given permission or collaborated with the brand, and it only got messier. In 2013, a new brand, Married to the Mob, popped up. Supreme sued this brand for using a similar logo. Kruger ended up dragged into this drama, and her response was simple. A file she called fools.doc, where she said, "What a ridiculous clusterfuck of totally uncool jokers," she wrote. "I make my work about this kind of sadly foolish farce. I'm waiting for all of them to sue me for copyright infringement." There is irony in all of this, in that a lot of Kruger's work has been about resisting consumer culture. The very industry she critiques brought her into a mess she didn't sign up for. Barbara Kruger has created many iconic pieces throughout her career. One of her most famous is Untitled, Your Body is a Battleground, from 1989, which was made for the Women's March on Washington. It features a woman's face divided into positive and negative halves, paired with bold text, a powerful statement on feminism and body politics. This piece was made for the Women's March on Washington during the time that new anti-abortion laws were presented regarding the Supreme Court case Roe v. Wade. I Shop, Therefore, I Am from 1987 is another important piece of work. The phrase was borrowed from René Descartes, a French philosopher who said, "I think, therefore I am." This phrase in the piece is a testament to the consumerism culture that we live in. In Your Gaze Hits the Side of My Face, from 1981, Kruger addresses how women are often objectified by the male gaze. The strip of color and life shows how women are turned into objects. A more recent piece, from 2021, is Thinking of You, I Mean Me, I Mean You, which is a giant installation covered in the signature text. The back and forth between you and me in the piece blurs the line between care and self-centeredness. Barbara Kruger has had an impact on various parts of the art world. She has impacted the world of contemporary art, advertising, graphic design, and pop culture. There are parts of her style that can be seen in magazine covers and political posters today. Even famous brands like Supreme, despite the controversy, pulled inspiration from her work. Kruger's work has been so powerful to the point that it's been consistently relevant across decades. Her pieces will continue to speak to the political and social issues we face as long as they are present. Her legacy is strong in being proof that simple, strong messages can have a powerful, long-lasting impact.